You hit a point in your life and suddenly you forget who you really are. For every situation in life, I was wearing a mask. When you will unmask the real you will have better control of your life. You will have better knowledge about yourself. Everything that you do in your life or every action that you take in your life, just think about it. You cannot be in your past, you cannot be in your future because both of them are not in your hand. What is your relationship with yourself? So we are actually cheating ourselves. Anger is something which is out of my dictionary completely. I feel I'm a guide with my experience, with my current situation. I'll be able to guide you. If someone has the power to make you angry, which means you're not growing personally. Life is all about balancing. We all talk about balancing. Balance the cartwheel of your life, and believe me, you'll be very happy. When there is a struggle, there is only one place where you can go, and that is your family. As Yoganandji says, and I repeat what he says, is fear is afraid of me. I became free. He is not afraid of criticism. He is not afraid of critics coming out on his book. Good, bad, ugly, it is for me. It is
The real.
my book.
Hello, listeners. Hello, readers. And thank you very much for joining in today. And I know you are excited to meet our author because a lot of authors are giving you powerful insights to change your life. And on the same series, I have a very, very, very powerful author with us. And before I tell you all his name, I would like to tell you about little bit about him. So he lives in Middle East, Dubai specifically, and he has worked in banking and financial sector for 30 years. Yes, a lot of you would not be having age of 30 years, but he has work experience of 30 years, more than 30 years. And he's led at the very, very top positions, CXO level positions in those banks. He's highly educated, I would say, because, he has done engineering, he has done MBA, he has done law. So, see, this is a multifaceted personality, engineering, MBA, and law. So multiple education, and he's a lifelong learner. He continuously learn. Recently, he has finished his course called Thinking into Results by Proctor Gallagher Institute. How many of you know Bob Proctor? So and he's no more, but we still live on his philosophy and learn a lot of things. So not only he learned thinking into result, but he's a person of results. So all the mentees who work with him, they get results. He's also highly spiritual in nature. He's also studying Hindu scriptures from the fellowship of Yagoda Satsang Society. And that's how, it's a proper balance of life, spirituality, knowledge, education, and real life experience. And that's what I would like to bring all of you a very, very powerful soul, very, very powerful personality, very, very powerful author, because his book can change your life. And his name is Navneet Kampani. Thank you, Navneet sir, for joining in on the workshop today, on this interview today, and enlightening all of us with your knowledge. Thank you very much for
Thank
joining.
you. Thank you, Dr. Pinjani, for such a wonderful introduction. And I'm overwhelmed by the thought that you said such a powerful soul. And thank you once again and inviting me as a guest for this interview. It is my pleasure to be in your August company today.
Thank you. So on this clue, I just all of you, if you want to know how souls are powerful, in our spirituality, we call it something called tej. Tej is like vibration on the face. So how do you know a person is a powerful soul? You look at the face. You look at the Navneet sir face right now. It is live. I'm talking, and you see the tej and vibration on the face. You know the soul is powerful. So when you meet around people, just see that tej and see the vibration. You know that you are meeting powerful people, powerful souls. So I want to go from the level one on the book, because when we see the book, I have a book with you, your book in my hand right now, and I would like to talk a lot about this. But I want to talk about a very, very powerful thing. It's called cover. And I know this cover because we worked together on the cover. It took us a lot of thoughts and deep thoughts to design this cover. So it's not just a cover, it's a meaning of the book. So I want to go before the cover. I want to talk to you about how did you decide the name of this book called Unmasking the Real You? So what is the story behind the name?
See, this is the story behind Dr. Kailash is my own story. And as I said, it is a journey of self-awareness. My self-awareness started when you get stuck somewhere and then you suddenly realize that there is something wrong. And then I started doing what I call as a dispassionate self introspection. And I went deep into it and I started unlayering myself. When I started unlayering myself, the realization went deeper into deeper. And I realized that, I was wearing multiple masks. We don't realize in our day-to-day life that how we keep bringing these masks on us. And you hit a point in your life and suddenly you forget who you really are. And this is what happened with me, that I was wearing a mask of a mentor. I was wearing a mask of a CXO. I was wearing a mask of a salesperson. I was wearing a mask of for every situation in life, I was wearing a mask. Do I
Mm,
have to do it? The realization came, no. And that is where the title of this book came out, that Unmask the Real You. When you will unmask the real you will have better control of your life. You will have better knowledge about yourself. We know about the world, but unfortunately, we don't know about ourselves. And that is how the name of this came out, that when I unmasked myself, or when I started unmasking myself, I realized that, I'm a very different person. And the realization came in that do I have to mask myself with so many roles? I can play so many roles by being me.
mm,
So that's how the cover came in. And you will remember when we were discussing the title and we were thinking of the graphic on the page,
mm.
that how we could bring this emotion out on the cover of the book. So yes, that's how the evolution of the title happened.
Yeah, I mean, I love the cover because cover itself speaks aloud. If you see a person is unmasking himself or herself, and the more powerful thing is, if you see the top of this mask, there's a man which is going into a O of a U. So it's such a thoughtful idea, thoughtful cover. And I think somehow when I look at not all the covers, but few covers, tells me these covers are not designed here in the world. It is coming from somewhere up there to enlighten. So very powerful journey. But I want to know, I know a lot of you who are listening to us right now, you are also maybe stuck somewhere, or you remember the days when you were stuck. So I want to ask Navneet sir, when people feel stuck, how do they get aware that they have a mask? So awareness is the first step, what I would feel. So how do anyone can get aware that he or she is wearing a mask? And then second question is, how do we unmask them? Because it would be a very difficult, because they're a sticky mask we are carrying from many years, and there's no segregation. So one or two steps to unmasking, maybe initial baby steps to do it. So two questions to you.
The first thing is, whether you like it or not, you are wearing a mask. One mask, two masks, three masks, four masks, I don't know. You're wearing a mask. So have that acceptance. Once you have that acceptance, you now have to go within yourself. So you have to have that awareness in yourself that everything that you do in your life, or every action that you take in your life, just think about it. So I always say that, have you ever thought about a thought? A thought comes in your mind. Do you ever think about that thought, that why did this thought came into my mind? I'm a professional. I'm sitting here and suddenly the thought came in my mind, oh my God, this guy is not doing the way he should have done it. So I need to immediately think that, why did this thought come into my mind? Is it really that person in front of me is not doing his work correctly? Or is it that there is something in me which is making me feel jealous or making me feel otherwise or making me feel, negative about a particular person? The moment you have that thought about a thought, then you will look at the subject or look at the person or look at the situation in a very, very different manner. The first chapter of my book is captioned as awareness, thought, and action. How do you get aware of it? Awareness means you have to be active every moment. You cannot be in your past, you cannot be in your future, because both of them are not in your hands. What is there in your hand is your present. So immediately be aware of your present. The moment you will be aware of your present, there will be thoughts coming into your mind. Now you hold these thoughts, you look at these thoughts, because your next action is going to be dependent on your thought. Normally what happens in our normal life is that the moment we are in a situation, we forget the awareness of that situation. We immediately jump on a thought that gives you an action. Boom, without realizing whether it was a right thought or wrong thought, appropriate thought or inappropriate thought, the action happened. So first thing is awareness. And how do you get aware of it? Is you have to stop yourself. You have to be in present every moment. And that is how you will be aware of it. There are masks. Think about it. Think about your behavior. Are you calm? Are you angry? Are you quiet? Are you vociferous? When you come to the work and you smile at someone, is it a genuine smile or is it just a fake smile? Most of the time, I don't talk about others. I talk about myself. This is my journey. One has to learn. If someone has to learn, they have to learn from my journey. That whatever I'm saying today is all applicable to me. We meet people. Hey man, you're looking great. Do we really
Mean it.
mean that? How many times do we really mean that? When we say good morning to someone, when you're on a walk and you say good morning, what is our intention to say good morning? Is it really our intention to say good morning to that person, or we're just trying to, create a kind of a environment so that I can know him better? So
Do you have
the
a
genuinity of your present moment is very important. That's how you get aware, by being in present. Eckhart Tolle, which I read extensively, always talks about that the only way you will be able to unmask yourself and be real you is when you are in present and you do make every action and do every action based on that clear present mind and genuinity, ingenuity, as we call. So that's the first step. And then think about your thought. The thought, stop on your thought. No need to take an action until and unless you analyze your thought. Now, this is what is in practical scenario. But how do you unmask yourself? You need to sit. You need to sit quietly. You need to talk to yourself. When you start talking to yourself, you start developing a relationship with yourself. I have asked many questions in my book. What is your relationship with yourself? Unless and until you have a relationship with yourself, you will not be able to unmask yourself, because you will not be truthful to yourself. Human being is very disloyal to himself, because we always cheat ourselves by eating, by missing, our exercise regime, by being lazy, by being restless, by getting influenced. So we are actually cheating ourselves. So for once, we have to stop that and, Become your own relationship manager. Develop a relationship manager management with yourself. And once you develop that relationship with yourself, you will see that you'll start talking to the voice of your soul, which is the intuition. And then you
Mm.
will start unmasking yourself. And then you will feel so happy because you're not carrying any baggage.
Wow. I have a very different question just popped into my mind. I can see some of the masks which I also wear and a lot of people would be wearing, but sometimes those masks seems to be helpful. Like quick scenario. Let's say I'm a boss in a company and I have some subordinates and uh, I've been telling someone to do a specific task for multiple times, and I'm a calm person. But I know till the time I don't wear of a mask of an angry boss, the person not going to do that job properly. So I don't know how do we balance this. Should we use it or should we not use it, or what do you think? Sometimes can mask be useful?
I completely agree with you. At times, you have to wear those masks. But
Mm,
a mask of an angry boss? No. Anger is something which is out of my dictionary completely.
wow.
Because anger is the root cause of all the misery around us today. If you think about it, uh, let me give a little expose at this point in time that I'm going to very specifically talk about anger in my second book. So this is an expose that I'm giving you that my second book is already in writing, and I'm going to talk about that how we reach that stage of being an angry man. So I'll stop it there and come to your question. Uh, I don't think so. I exactly had the same thought process that you have it in mind, that we need to wear masks. Yes, you need to wear masks. You need to wear good masks. You need
Mm,
to be aware of the mask that you are wearing.
wow.
Those masks have to be very temporary.
Mm,
Those masks have to be worn. Those masks, that particular role has to be played for that particular moment and situation, and then that mask has to be removed, and you have to come back to your real self.
original state.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, wearing a mask of an angry boss, no. Wear a mask of a considerate boss. Help your staff understand that. And I can tell you, I am now living this every moment. Uh, Being angry does not help. Being compassionate does help. Being
Yeah.
compassionate does help. Dealing with a situation, there is already a preemption in the mind of the guy who's done something wrong. The boss will be angry. So he already has that thought process in his mind that, my God, my boss is going to be angry, or my boss will always be angry at me. So he's accepted that fact because whatever his character is, he has that preemption in his mind that boss will be angry. If you break that with him and don't be angry for a moment, he will think about what happened. Probably first time his ego will say, oh my God, you know, you see, today even boss did not say anything to me. But then if you repeat your same actions again, he will start thinking that what has happened? Why? And then he'll start that process of changing himself. So
Mm.
yes, to answer in short, masks are good. Those have to be temporary masks, and those masks have to be very positive.
Wonderful.
And use it, take it off. Bring them
Wonderful.
back again when required and take it off again. And be your normal self at any point in time.
It's like a tool in the toolbox, and
Yes, yes,
but tools has to be good. Don't use the
yes,
bad tools.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So all of you are listening, and if you are a boss, you are a CEO, you are a general manager, you are leading a team, and you get angry often, do you know what to do? Get connected to Navneet sir, because he also guides in the group to a lot of people how to get more effectiveness of their own team members, and Be the powerful leader, lead with compassion. And he's writing the second book on anger. So if you get angry, one of the reason you should be getting connected to Navneet sir is how do you not allow anger to be part of your life, because that's very harmful for you. So I want to move on to the next question. Another thing I have seen in your book is there's something called proper guide, which is PROPER, proper guide. For the listeners, because they're listening first time, I want you to explain them what this proper guide is all about.
See, pro and per, if you
Pro
put
and
them together, it becomes proper.
hmm.
Proper, we know what is proper, that proper. But this pro and per, if you segregate it, pro stands for your professional life and per stands for your personal life. We are running a cartwheel between our professional and personal lives.
Wow.
And whenever any of these wheels grow bigger or grow smaller, the cartwheel becomes lopsided.
Mhm.
And when the cartwheel becomes lopsided, it is very difficult to pull or push your cartwheel. Our life is like that. In today's scenario, all the mental issues that you are seeing is because of this imbalance of professional and personal life. We have issue at home. In our personal life, it reflects on our professional life. We have issue at our professional life, it reflects on our personal life. These are so integrated, but the God has created human being to lead a very balanced life. And that
Hmm.
is where, the eureka moment happened for me in 2020 during COVID, when I was thinking about myself, that how I did not balance my professional and personal life. So pro and per came, and I joined them together. It became proper. And then I put your, because I want to guide you with my experience. And I added guide behind it, because in my thought process, I cannot be a coach, but I can be a guide, because I've still not understood my own life. How can I coach you on your life?
Hmm.
With due respect to all everyone, I feel I'm a guide with my experience, with my current situation. I'll be able to guide you. And then life is yours. God has given you free will and discriminative intelligence to choose what is right, what is wrong for you.
Wow.
So this is where proper came, and I became your proper guide. And that is my handle. I'm mastering, I say I'm mastering the art of balance and personal growth. Because for me, it is all about your personal growth. We all can become professionally big, but look at yourself. Are you personally growing in
Hmm.
yourself? Do you have those few traits that I have mentioned in my book? Are you calm? Are you quiet? Are you humble? Are you kind? Are you even minded? How do you balance your temperament? This is the personal growth. These are the milestones of personal growth in my understanding now, which I have mentioned in my book as well. That the inner faculties, how do you manage your inner faculty? That is real growth. Does someone has power to make you angry? If someone has the power to make you angry, which means you're not growing personally. How easily do you get influenced by someone? Are you using your own discriminative intelligence to decipher what is appropriate, what is not appropriate? I don't use right and wrong, because there is nothing right and wrong. For someone, it is right, for someone, it is wrong. So it is appropriate, inappropriate. I always use like whether it is appropriate for you or inappropriate for you. Can you balance it? Life is all about balancing. We all talk about balancing mind, body, soul, balancing, yoga. It's balancing. So that's where pro and per balance the cartwheel of your life. And believe me, you will be very happy.
Yeah. When the both wheels are balanced, same speed, same strength, same size, cartwheel goes very fast. I want to ask you another question is, I will read couple of chapters, name for the readers also, so you know that, you know, what all this book has. But I want to ask you, which one is your favorite chapter? So I'll say, well, first is awareness, thought, action, feeling miserable at workplace, we the people, goals, 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 paradigm and habits, introspection and art of self-analysis, finding the true purpose of life, material existence versus spiritual existence, communication, communion of three main human faculties, gift of six mental faculties, willpower, the Kant syndrome, trait of inner behavior. So there are few chapters which I read it. Which one is your favorite one?
Introspection.
Introspection. Wonderful.
Introspection. My journey started from introspection. My journey started from introspection, and I will, uh, introspection means you have to find yourself.
Hmm.
Today, it is very important for us to find ourselves. What is missing is that we don't know ourselves. And unless and until we know ourselves, we cannot improve on ourselves. How will I balance myself if I don't know myself? Because if I'm thinking that my professional goal is my ultimate goal, which means
Hmm.
my cartwheel is already imbalanced. So I need to know myself that if that is my journey, then I must be prepared for a professional personal debacle. I must be prepared for a horrible personal life because it cannot go that way. There is someone, we may say, all these super hi-fi professionals in the world, they say that they have a very good family life. Well, there are exceptions in this world. But generally speaking, if you look at the general strata of people across the levels that we talk about, from CXOs down to the person who serves us tea and coffee in our organization. If you look
Hmm.
at the entire strata of people, you will find uh, this imbalance doesn't really work.
Wonderful. So now I want to ask you, what is the inspiration behind writing this book? Because I know you've been writing a powerful blogs from many years, and but you decided to compile very powerful thoughts in a form of a book. So where this inspiration of launching this as a book comes in?
You and TLC
Yes, Murli
and
sir.
BNI
Yes,
and
VNI.
Deepak Badra. So
Yes,
all of you played played a very big role. All of you
Oh,
played a very big role. It all started with Deepak Badra, then it went to Guru Murli, TLC, then it came to you as a publisher, and so it's a contribution from everyone.
mm,
I was just writing blogs, and Deepak Badra said, write a book. I said, I can't write a book. He says, attend TLC session. Guru Murli is here. I attended TLC session. He said that 30 days, and he said, hear this out. I connected with you, and you said, yes, I run that 30-day book writing technique. I said, okay. So it all came from all of you, and I my gratitude to all three of you,
thank you.
to Deepak Badra, to Guru Murli, to yourself for getting me where I am today.
Yeah, I personally believe what I told you, or anyone who's write blog, make videos, you know, we have creating tons and tons of bytes of data every day, and it's a data sea has become. But once you launch something as a book, it becomes the immortal, because you know there are books which can last longer and preserve longer than any other data. So I know, you know, at least four of our generations, minimum four, it could be more, minimum four generation going to preserve, saying that yes, it is coming book from our lineage, and this is one of our great 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 grandfather. I'm just talking about 2100 or 21 24 100 years from now, or 500 years from now, someone would be, at least few books would be there. If you know book has that its own journey, it may also, you know, live for 1,000 years, because we have a lot of books who've been living for thousands of years.
Yes,
Let's talk of
yes,
religious books like Holy Quran, Holy Bible, Guru Granth Sahib. We have Bhagavad Gita, Ramayan. All those books are powerful books, and they've been living from thousands of years. So once you convert this data of a byte-based data into a form of a book, you become immortal. So we call it the club immortal. So, we are all immortal, and if you want to be immortal, decide to write your book. I want to ask you another important question. I know in your journey, your family have been very, very supportive. Specifically, you'll mention it anyhow, but your daughter. So I want to talk about, how the journey when you were writing and you announced the book, how family support was, and all those things about how family's reaction was in the book writing journey and publishing journey.
No, see, my journey of writing started from my family onwards because before 2019, or I would say, yes, at the beginning of 2019, when life became challenging, there was a struggle. So when there is a struggle, uh, there is only one place where you can go and dive into, and that is your family. Because friends are all professional. They are linked to you till the time you are on that hot seat. And then they slowly move out. So the only people who will listen to you and understand you or become your sounding board is your family. So
Mm.
yes, we were as a family, we were going through those challenges of life, but we were supporting each other. And then COVID hit, and then as I have always said, that my younger daughter said, uh, why don't you write? Because you have enough experience of life. And that's where I started writing. And then my elder daughter, who's a lawyer, she supported me. She edited few things for me, few things for me in my book. She even edited what is behind my book,
Author.
about the author, and about the book. And then I took examples in my book from my family. So yes, it is a very, very, see, that is why I say that balance of personal life is very important, because the only pillar that will stand all the wrath of the world is your family pillar. If that pillar is strong, you will never go into that depressive lifestyle. That is the pillar that pulls you out always. And this is my humble request to everybody, that strengthen your personal pillar. While professional goals are very important, don't get attached to your professional goals so much that you compromise on your personal pillar.
Wow. Any specific aha moment you want to share in the process, in the journey, which you remember suddenly you think, wow, you know, a miracle happening, something like that. Anything happened which you want to share?
You remember the book launch? It
Yeah, I
was
remember.
supposed to be a very small book launch, and it turned out to be a gala affair.
It was that.
And you were there with your wife, and we had some very, very important people from the royal family members also that was an aha moment for me, because that is the moment when I went into that acceptance mode, and I accepted, which I was struggling to accept to myself, but I accepted in public forums.
Wow.
Challenges that I faced in life, I that book launch actually granted me freedom. I became fearless after that. And as Yoganandji says, and I repeat what he says, is fear is afraid of me. I became free. That was my aha moment, because after that, the life became very different. Because in public forum, I could accept myself,
Hmm.
what I was, which is very difficult for you to accept. So that was a great aha moment, and you all again contributed to that moment during my book launch in Dubai. It was a beautiful experience, and it was a very spiritual experience, because there were wonderful people who were there, and I could express myself freely, and I felt freedom.
Yeah, it was a beautiful event. I remember that.
Yes.
I want to also ask you, we always see, as I'm an author too, we have seen people's perception shift happens after book launch happens. So before book launch and after book launch, we see definite big change in the way people look at us. Do you want to mention any specific, without putting a name to it, but when you put any specific moment or a comment or a call, which, sort of, wow, this person also
See,
thinks anything specific?
when you write a book, you are author. Author comes from the word authority. So, and people who left you thinking what you are, when you write a book, they again start coming back to you. And though it is very difficult to express your thought in the form of book, but it is extremely easy as well. Because if you just write your thoughts, we complicate. If you write your thoughts, this is what happened with me. When I wrote the book, there are certain people who were like, who would have never thought about me in that mode, were so shocked that started calling me, when did you? When did you? So again, this is kind of an aha moment that, you know, very positive vibes when you write a book. It's within yourself. Plus, then people around you start looking at you with an authority, that this person has that authority, that and courage, that he's put his thoughts in the form of the book, which is published, which people will read. And he's not afraid of criticism. He's not afraid of critics coming out on his book. Good, bad, ugly, it is for me. It is
The real.
my book.
Mm.
So yes, things change, perspectives change because you feel that you have an authority. And at this moment, I would again like encourage my listeners here to follow your blog, and it is very easy. What the way you explain and the way you do it, it's very easy to write a book. Anybody can write a book, and one should write a book and be part of the immortal club.
Yeah, if you love writing, you write on LinkedIn, you write on blogs, you already have a skill of writing. You just need to compile it, to be frank, and book is done. Simple.
Pen your thoughts. Every person on this earth is a miracle, is a beautiful individual. He or she has a lot of thoughts which could be penned, and that will help more people.
One, we are getting into the last few questions. One of the important questions I want to ask you is, yes, writing required support. You need a guide, and sometimes people are internally powerful and they write by themselves too. But finding a right publisher also makes it or breaks it for a lot of people, a lot of authors. So would like to touch upon about publishing and how was the experience with Wings publication?
See, sometimes writing may not be difficult, but publication becomes a deterrent. That fear. Who will publish? Why would someone publish me? How can I publish my book? That fear factor dissuades a lot of people from writing and penning the thoughts. Now, this is where a publisher plays a very, very important role. That if you have something, and if your publisher is ready to take you through that journey in a very smooth manner, where you just keep doing, you know, uh, what I admired about Wings publication is the process, laid out process, which made my job very easy. So I compiled and then I knew that this is what I need to do. This is what I need to add on. So I'm not struggling what to do next. Oh my God, what to do next? What to do next? And this is what I actually admired, and I must put forward as a testimony that Wings Publication International took me through that journey very smoothly. Till the time the book, we got the approvals, we printed copies, we went for book launch, and then post publication help that an author requires is what I think is very important. And choose your publication or choose your publisher very, very carefully, because that could be a make or break journey for you. And that could be that could be very enjoyable, like it is for me, or it could be very sad. Oh my God, I struggled to publish my book and I lost out this. I could have done that. I could have done that. Very, very important. So that's my little take that I had with my journey. That my journey was very smooth. I didn't have to go through the ups and downs. I was well supported, as I'm an author. My from editing to book cover to ideation to color combinations to everything was through a laid down process, and at respective stages, different people became part of my journey. They did their job and they moved out.
Thank you very much. Thank you for saying it, because even when I'm an author, my first book was a big pain because by the time Wings publication was not there, and that was the only reason I thought there should be one company which understands what kind of pain author goes through and what all they need. This is not a book. This is a dream. This is a project. This is a very big project which we want to impact the world. And is my publisher looking at my book like a dream or a project or a big thing, or it's another line item or another delivery to be done? So that's the difference we wanted to create, and that's how the Wings was born, with my own pain, first time publishing my book. I want to go to the last question. I know you are a man of a gratitude. You have attitude of a gratitude, and you have a big section on the gratitude in the book too. You have given gratitude, but on the records, on the camera, I want you to give gratitude to important people of your life.
Oh, important people of my life is my parents, my family, my wife, my daughters, my in-laws. My inspiration was my father-in-law, who learned Hindi at the age of 60 and wrote a book and published it at the age of 75. They have all been my inspirations. They've all been my support system. And most importantly, people who played a negative role in my life, and my gratitude to them, because they brought me to this stage where I am today. I didn't realize at that point in time. I hated them for what they did to me. But had they not done that to me, I would not have been here. This journey is incomplete without those people. So, my humble gratitude to those people whom I felt that they were destroying my life, my career, etc. But no, they played such an important role in my journey that this self realization would not have happened if that moment didn't happen. But if you think it negatively, those people destroyed what was a dream for you. But no, they gave you another dream, which was far more powerful dream than the dream that you were living at that point in time. So my humble gratitude to them as well. And I have already given my gratitude to Deepak Badra, who brought me into this journey, and yourself, Wings Publication, Guru Murli, and I know everybody around me, everybody around me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. As I said, you he's a man which is made of gratitude everywhere. He has attitude of gratitude. Now, I have a lot of gratitude for the listeners because they are listening to us by now. So I want to make something special request to Navneet sir about the book. So because listeners, you are here till now, you're listening to us, you should be getting some benefit bonus also. So Navneet sir, I want to request you to give some special offers for all of our listeners who are listening to this interview, because this is a life-changing book. Yes, after your religious books, if you're a professional, this book can definitely shape you in a wonderful journey. You go to Amazon, search the book's name, Unmasking the Real You, or write his name, Navneet Kampani, you will find the book. It is available internationally. It is available in across world on Amazon. Whether you are in UAE, whether you're in Canada, US, India, everywhere it is available. Just go to Amazon, search the name of the book, Unmasking the Real You, Navneet Kampani. You will find the book. But now, Navneet sir, I want to request you. Can you give us something special, some special, offer to our listeners for the book?
No, definitely, definitely. Our listeners, I'm more than happy to give 20% discount to all our listeners,
Wow.
uh, whichever way, wherever they are, because I want this book to go to, it's a small book. It has to go to people. People need to read it and just look at themselves. That's it. It's a simple book. It just talks about yourself, 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 just you. So
So
yes,
all
I'm more than happy to give a discount of 20% to all the listeners. And
so all the listeners, go to the description box. In the description box, there's a coupon code given. You can use that coupon code, and that coupon code will waive off 20% from Amazon, and you can buy this book. This is valid only for next 30 days. So hurry up, buy the book, and change your life. And I know a lot of you have been inspired the way Navneet sir is speaking. You want to get connected to him. You want to listen to him. You may want maybe looking for his guidance to change your life, or maybe you are an organization and HR listening to it. You want Navneet sir to deliver some executive level coaching or training session, and you want to get connected to him. I know that. Okay, so further, Navneet sir, how do you want people to get connected to you for any further guidance they need from you?
I think the best way to reach out to me is to send me an email. My
Wow.
email is very simple. It is navneet at yourproperguide.com. So your proper guide is my handle, Navneet is my name. And so email is the best way to reach out to me because I'm very active on my email because I do get a lot of emails from people. So I think that's the best way to do it.
So email is also listed down in a description box for you, so you don't make spelling mistakes. It's very simple, navneet at yourproperguide.com. But still go to the description box, check an email, and reach out to him, because one book and one email can take you to the next level in your life. You can be far more happier, far more successful. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. And before I close, I would like to give humble gratitude and uh, thanks to Navneet sir to take time out. He is, he knows how to balance things. He's a busy professional. He travels a lot, but he still came to the show, spoke to all of us, gave a special discount for the book. And thank you very much, Navneet ji, for all the knowledge you shared. And I know a lot is inside the book, which people are going to read buying the book. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kailash. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm more than happy to connect with our listeners. And it will be my pleasure if I could change anyone's life. One life changed means the purpose of my life is served. So thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much. And thank you, all the listeners. We see you sometime soon again with the next author and the next book. Till then, bye bye.